hope y'all are doing well. It is July 17th, and today I'm back. So today I have a good bit of stuff to talk about. I'm going to be focusing on severe weather for a good portion of the video. We have a potential, or just generally, I wouldn't say it's a potential severe weather outbreak, but tomorrow we could see a pretty interesting severe weather event. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So, this is the day 2 convective outlook. This is our severe weather outlook for tomorrow. We can see by looking at this, you would think that Montana, North Dakota is our biggest threat. We got a slight risk over there, marginal risk all the way up into UP and Michigan there, Arrowhead and Minnesota, that area. We got another marginal risk across areas of the Northeast down into the Mid-Atlantic. And yeah, so what I want to be focusing on for a good bit here is this area here. This area here is still currently a marginal risk, although I do expect that to change as we go into the morning. Right now we can see a 2% tornado risk across a little bit of New York there, into PA, New Jersey, and a little bit of Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Vermont as well. 5 wind and a 15 wind up in that area, and a 5 and 15 or 15 hail as well up in that slight risk up in North Dakota and Montana. So start off by looking at the Northeast because this is the area that's most interesting to me. So we can see tomorrow evening, this is 8 p.m. tomorrow, we got a low located about right there. We can see a pretty clear front right here. We got winds out of the west behind this. Very, very classic storm system. And we can see we got plenty of moisture, southerly winds in front of this. Plenty of moisture coming up into the Northeast here. We got dews in the 70s for a good bit of areas along, especially along the Hudson River there. Areas like Albany, dews in the mid 70s. Some areas could have dew points up to around 70, 75, especially right around the Hudson River. So guess we'll just go ahead and start by looking at reflectivity, and I want to take some soundings for y'all, and we can discuss this severe weather threat. So the SPC is only going marginal. Okay, I'm just going to start out by saying I personally think that as of right now, this should be at least a slight risk, or should be a slight. I'm not going. Right now, there's a few reasons. I'm going to get into that later. Let's wait on that, okay? Because we haven't really fully looked at this yet. But we can see by 19Z, we have some storms going off in Connecticut and Massachusetts. So we'll take a sounding with those, and we can see pretty interesting setup here. So we can see sounding would favor some more classic type supercells. Definitely going to see more HP type storms. We got very high PWatt values. A lot of moisture. We're going to see some more HP type storms, but sounding is definitely going to favor some supercells. You can see lower level shear it's kind of it's modest, but it's there. Okay, SRH. Everything's looking decent for a low end tornado potential in this area. Generally, the supercell's critical angle is perfect, 90 right there. Lapse rates are pretty terrible. Generally, damaging wind and hail don't even look like big threats with this sounding. It'd mainly be tornadoes. That's pretty much the main problem with that sounding. So the area I'm really worried about tomorrow is going to be this area here. Kind of this area actually. I'm thinking this area here we could see a pretty exceptional, or not. It's not even a word. A pretty exceptional. Okay, I don't know why I can't say that. Just ignore that, okay. But we're gonna be seeing a pretty high tornado potential. I think, not high as in high risk. Okay, not high as in high risk from the SPC. No, that is insane. That's definitely not this. No, you're gonna be seeing I personally think right now this should be a 5%, but maybe upgraded to a 10%. There are a few problems, and we'll discuss that though, which is why probably not going to be upgraded to a 10% from the SPC. I definitely think the SPC will go slight though in the morning. But yeah, so we can see we still got a nice HODO here. This is 20 Z's. This is 4 p.m. And still see your hail and damaging wind will be the least threats. I mean, damaging wind will be potential will be there, but I think the damaging wind threat will be on the lower side. I think we're gonna see like a pretty good cap at around 60 miles per hour. I don't think we're gonna see like any insane wind reports of like 70 or 80 miles per hour in this area. But the tornado threat though looks good though. I mean, shear profiles. I mean, everything is setting up for a tornado threat in that area. Or generally a supercells, and we can see, I mean, several rounds. I mean, even by like 8 p.m., we can see we have more storms moving through the area, and they just look like supercells in the HRRR. But that doesn't mean anything. We're gonna take a look at soundings. That is contaminated, so let's try and get a new one here. Yeah, so I mean, still looks decent, a little bit lower, but I mean, I definitely think that by the morning we could see a 5% issued for like this type. I think not maybe a little further. So I think this area we could easily see a 5% Taurus, maybe even bigger. But personally, if I can draw here, I think that area would see the biggest tornado potential. Maybe like redraw this area here. Kind of, that's what I'm thinking. The greatest tornado potential area. And all the way down into Maryland, we could be expecting severe weather across this area down here. I feel like further south, we could be looking at more of a damaging wind threat as well. Maybe a little more threat for damaging winds as we go down to Maryland, southeast PA, Delaware, New Jersey, southern New Jersey. Tornado threat will be much lower down there. As you're further away from the low, you lack that shear. And so, I mean, I think the main threats down here would be damaging wind. In this area here, tornado threat will be very, very slim, be very low. I'm not gonna say none because then, knowing my luck, we'll see something, but I think it'll be very low. I think. Yeah, even in like central Massachusetts, we see these storms in the HRRR. We can see, I mean, low level shear is good though. I mean, I'm really surprised they have not gone slight. But let's take a look at other models, because the HRRR is not the only model that exists. It's not. I mean, we want to look at other models as well. Let's take a look at the NAM3. This is probably going to regret this, but NAM3 tends to not be the best. Yeah, the NAM3 is different, okay. I mean, the NAM3, we got storms like, let's take a sounding up in east central New York, and we can see, look at that lower level shear is significant there. Definitely see, I'd say that'd be a good 5, maybe 10 Tor, maybe. I don't know. It's still say, but still though, that area, even on the NAM3, it looks pretty good for tornadoes. Try to take a sounding in southeast New York here. Of course, PDS Tor that is contaminated. Okay, it's contaminated. So let's try and get another one here. Okay, of course it's a marginal Tor, but the environment overall, generally, I'd say 5% down like northern Jersey. Environment's most supportive I've seen in a good bit for tornadoes. Look at that low level shear though, dang. NAM3 is pretty similar to the HRRR, although I'd say it does have a little bit of a higher tornado threat. If we'd see the NAM3 actually play out, I'd say this could be a little more widespread. The HRRR, I'd say mainly like that area, or this area would be the highest, but the NAM3 would be a little bigger. But either way, I still feel like this area here will be this area here I think we'll see the highest tornado potential. And everywhere else, take a look at the ARW here. I mean, we're unable to take soundings, but see what it has storm-wise. I guess it looks pretty similar. Mixed layer cape. It's kind of something important. We got to see like how far the northern extent of this cape really reaches, because it's going to be a big limiting factor for how far north we see severe weather. We can see, ARW has absolutely no instability. Or wait, no, it does. Okay. We see instability up to around 1,000, or cape up to around 1,000 joules. So not as high as other models like the HRRR or the NAM3, but there. And the NSSO has Um, NSSL, we can see around 1,000, 2,000 joules, so not bad. All right, so now I just want to go back to the H triple. I want to talk about some of the limiting factors with this event, because there are a few limiting factors that could limit this. I just want to go ahead and talk about those. Let me go back over to reflectivity here. So one of our first limiting factors is going to be uncertainty with this morning convection. So you can see throughout the morning hours, like this is, if I could get this to load, this is 8 a.m. here. We can see we still have precipitation just moving throughout the area, maybe even some storms. At 16Z, we could even see some storms maybe along what I think is the warm front, pretty positive. I mean, yeah, those could even, those even have a threat too. I mean, look at that. 16Z, this would be noon. I'm pretty sure, yeah, noon. We can see, I mean, those first storms along the warm front could do something as well. So we'll see. It could be, those would be earlier in the day, but yeah, we could have some uncertainty of morning convection, really how much instability we see after that. But the HRRR occurs, of course, that will not be much of an issue. But is the HRRR always right? No. So, yeah. Another thing will also be like things like instability. There's like a bit of like model variations between how much instability we actually may see. So yeah, we'll see if we get like how much we actually get. But I think I think we'll probably see a good like widespread values of, I mean, I'd go a little bit under what the HRRR has, but I feel like the HRRR is a better model normally than like the ARW and the NSSL. HRRR has generally around 1,000, 2,000 K, which I think is what we're going to see across southeast New York areas of Connecticut, Massachusetts. You can see how far that reaches. It doesn't really reach. It reaches up to like up here as we go overnight, but so that'll allow for a severe weather threat to reach pretty far north. But then by that time, we can see thermodynamics and stuff is starting to get a little worse. I mean, due to this being overnight, we can see just low end tornado threat maybe with this, and mainly I mean, still damaging wind and hail doesn't look great, but probably mainly a damaging wind threat by that time. Yeah, so the next thing I want to talk about is the north central U.S. Because we could be looking at we're going to be looking at we have a slight risk in that area tomorrow, but that's not really the area I want to focus on for this video, or for this, like now. I want to focus on a different area. We'll take a look at that just now, once this loads. So by 7 p.m. tomorrow, we can see we have what looks to be the frontal boundary setting up over like northeast Minnesota. Now, previous runs of the HRRR shown like a few supercells in that area. We can take a look at the environment in the arrowhead and we can see it's still definitely has downtrended a lot. We can see compared to previous runs of the HRRR here. Let me lock this in here, and then if we go back to the 18Z run, we actually had supercells going off. We take a sounding in the exact same area, and we see it was much better. I mean, we can see that shear is interesting, but look at that supercell. That is nice looking. And yeah, I mean, it's very contaminated, but we saw some supercells, but the environment kind of downtrended, so that threat has, I guess, gone down I maybe want to watch that area. I don't fully trust the 000 run. I mean, 18C showed it, so we'll see. But yeah, and then over in Montana, we can see we have storms. This is 21Z, so 5. This would be 4 p.m. Central, or 3 p.m. Mountain Time. But we can see with those, it'd mainly be kind of elevated, definitely elevated hailers. They're going to see some damaging wind as well. Definitely, I'd say Montana is looking pretty good tomorrow. Montana, I mean, will it go enhanced? I don't know if it'll go enhanced. I mean, we're definitely going to see damaging wind. I think will be the main threat. Hail will be right behind it, very closely, right, really close. I say hail and damaging wind will be pretty similar threat level, but going to see a good threat of that. And then by this time these storms move into North Dakota, we can see it's after dark, and I think the threat in North Dakota will be a little lower due to this being after dark, and also storms will be pretty far north, but we can still see we do see a few good storms. Environment is still supportive, damaging wind and hail, even overnight. So yeah, but definitely I think Montana we're going to see a pretty significant threat tomorrow evening or tomorrow out late afternoon into the evening hours, even in the overnight as we move into North Dakota for damaging wind and large hail. Looks like one of these classic kind of northern plains events. Yeah, so that is that. Day 3 we have this is slight risk across Wisconsin, Minnesota, and UP and Michigan there. We'll take a look at that real quick. Very quick, because I think this video has already been like maybe 15 minutes long. I'm not 100% sure, but 20Z. This used to be looking really good, but I think now it's not looking as good as it once was. Yeah, we can see we have. What was that? Okay. You can see like an MCS or some kind of like, not really, just like a squall line diving south in the UP and Michigan on Tuesday morning. Yeah, you just see damaging winds with that, and yeah, not really a big deal. Died pretty quickly, but maybe we could see some stuff along the guess I don't really know, but I mean generally, to be honest, Tuesday does not look as good as it once did. Really still don't know how it's keeping on to a slight. I'm back on Friday. It looked pretty good for tornadoes, but now it's the opposite. But yeah, we can see on that front that we could see some action maybe. Definitely seems like it'd mainly be damaging winds and some moderate sized hail in some areas. I think we'll see a good bit of activity probably further up into Wisconsin, I'd say, like that area. Yeah, I can see why they have a slight risk, I guess. I feel like the ISRRR might be under convecting a little bit, but still got a pretty good setup though. We got that low up here, kind of definitely looks very good. So yeah, last day I want to talk about would be Wednesday, or last 2 days would be Wednesday and Thursday. So I want to go ahead and go to the entire U.S. here. And I want to talk about Wednesday first, just like really quickly. We're not really going to be taking soundings or anything, just looking at our general pattern. So let me go out to Wednesday here. So I want to go to Wednesday evening. Yeah, we can see we have our little piece of energy here is, let me lock it on hour 72 here so I can just scroll through some stuff. Yeah, we can see 500 millibar winds. We clearly got that piece of energy located around right here. That would just pretty much bring out this area here for a little bit of a severe weather threat. Just by looking at that, you can tell. And 850 millibar winds, yeah, you can clearly see that still. Maybe even all the way down into the Tennessee, Kentucky, and areas of northwest Georgia, northern Alabama. See what we have of precipitation. Just for fun. Yeah, kind of. I mean, not really down there, but dew point wise, we can see we got a very moist air. I mean, getting near 80 in Ohio there, so very warm as well, or not very warm, very moist. Instability wise, we see we've got plenty of instability. Look like it's some stuff like shear. Generally, Wednesday we could see maybe some type of a tornado threat across, like, I don't know, like that area. Maybe doesn't look doesn't look extremely good at all, but I would say we could see a tornado threat once again. I'd say the main days we're going to want to watch for tornadoes is Monday and Tuesday. I'd say as we go into Thursday, which is another day, we're going to see this piece of energy just move further east. Going to see it move over into the northeast. And like bulk shear surface to 500, we can see kind of that piece of energy across the northeast. Generally just looks like another kind of repeat of Monday, but I think the tornado threat's going to be much lower. I feel like we're going to be mainly looking at a damaging wind threat. We can see how low is way up in. This time the low is way further north. It's up in Quebec. We can already see that cold front's move through. So I mean, this would be a little further east, I think. By the time we reach like peak heating, I'd say it would be further east. So the areas where we want to watch Thursday could be like generally that area. I'd say down like South North Carolina, maybe even into the actual South here. We'll see. But yeah, so that is that. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope you all also have a great day tomorrow. I'm trying to decide if I might be able to live stream tomorrow. I could live stream, but pretty much it'd be I'd just be looking at radars. If I do anything else in that computer, it's gonna not do too well, especially on stream. And I can't stream on this Chromebook. I remember when you used to be able to. I think back through, like, I remember you used to be able to do it. I think to like Google or something, but now you can't. So yeah, but I'll see. I do want to stream. I do want to maybe stream tomorrow. Talk about like Montana and then the Northeast, that kind of stuff, just for fun. But yeah, so thank you all for watching the video. Hope you all have a great day tomorrow, and I'll be back. But yes, goodbye.